All right, so I'm back at it again. I'm gonna try and fix the electrical system. I'm trying to get it working. I turned it on and checked. The brake light works and this right headlight works. But none of the turn signals work and this left headlight does not work. Now this you can actually tell if you see the orange. I replaced this myself. Like I said, I took the whole system, went from incandescent to LED. All the turn signals are incandescent. The brake light's LED. This is LED. This is LED. And I had the turn signals on LED at one point, but they all burnt out. Sorry. Not quite sure what's going on here. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is I was trying to figure out what two wires were connecting that second headlight, which would be the brights on the moped. And I just put alligator clips to one, alligator clips to the other. And it started getting a response, started getting the light that was coming on. Because I'd found where the ground was and I found where the positive was. Hey, I fixed the other bright. Both come on now. Let's go. That's what disconnected. Here's something disconnected. Let's see if that's enough power to... Okay, so I got that. And now we're back to the process of securing the electrical connections to make sure they're good. I got a new one of those spades that I put in, and then I just made sure it was in nice and tight, and I wrapped it with electrical tape. Okay. Now all that's left was putting the assembly back together, just putting the headlight cover on and screwing in the little cosmetic panel. There we go. My next problem to tackle would be the turn signals. Again, they weren't flashing, let alone they weren't even making any visible light. So, what better way than to figure it out than taking it apart? These are what I was using before, but they burned out. They used 2 watts. So it's down from, I'd be going down from 5 to 2, but I am a little afraid of these burning out. Now with the light out, I just put 2 alligator clips across and put my voltmeter to see how many volts it was reading. That's not that good. And then for the LED replacement bulbs, I would need a special 3D printed part to fit them. That's what you can see here. These little guys are for the LEDs, for the indicator. It just is meant so that you can fit them in. They pressure fit in there. And then these are the side little bulbs on the light bulb that lock in. So all I have to do is just rewire it, because the metal tabs won't work anymore, because this is a metal and that's not how the LEDs work, but you'll see. Okay, so we take this. This is the end that goes on the inside. So then fits in like that. Oh, yeah. I can always super glue it in if I need to. I'll just fit it flush. Maybe a little more. Okay. Now the main difficulty is wiring it. I'm gonna have to take this out. And there's the black and the blue. The blue is positive, black is negative. So, when this fits in, like that. All right. So I wasn't getting very far, so I just kind of tried some ideas off my own until something clicked. I did some continuity tests. It took me forever to locate what wires. I had a wiring diagram I looked at. It took me forever to locate it, but this is the wiring part that has all the connections from the turn signal relays. So I've got my voltmeter still set up, and here's what I've got. From how it's behaving, I thought it was the wiring, or I thought it was a wattage problem, that I have too few watts over there that's not putting enough load. That's what I concluded, and one of my electrical friends had told me that, but I think he's wrong. That might have a thing, might have like a play in it, but what I am thinking, I don't know why I didn't think this earlier, is what if the regulator, okay, actually let's start here. What if the turn signal flasher, the relay, what's it called? It's a flasher, not a relay. Is it a relay? I don't know. The flasher, the turn signal flasher. What if that's just faulty? Because I realized when I put it on, you could see the lights go, but they don't flash, and they're really, really dim. So it's really, really weak. So I'm gonna start here. There's that. I'm gonna check that. And that's what I'm set up to do right now. So what I'm getting from that on the regulator is my thing is, you know how when I put the clutch, not clutch, the throttle down, the lights, especially the brake lights. The brake lights get a lot brighter. And what I'm assuming, this might not be backed up by research, is that it's not regulating right. It's not smoothing it out to a steady 12 volts. And when I put more throttle, I'm getting more than 12 volts. And then that regulator isn't actually doing its job. It's shooting above what it should be. The regulator needs to, a good regulator will keep it down so it doesn't spike, so I don't have a spike in current, spike in, so the lights don't get brighter, just suddenly. I think they should be about the same level. The other thing is that might also be a reason why like these aren't working, is the regulator isn't regulating, so it's dipping down too low, that it's such a 0.4 volts, such a low voltage. But I don't think that's the main problem. I think the main problem is the signal relay. So this is a janky setup. I could just wire it, but I took apart the relay. Where'd he go? So this is the relay right here. I took the two prongs off, the positive and negative. I don't think it really matters which is positive and negative. I think it's like a resistor. And I was just gonna wire them directly, because what I understand, all that does is it just takes positive and negative and just like opens and closes circuit a bunch. It goes bop, 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 bop. So if I just wire straight through it, it'd just be like a straight wire, which is fine because it's in series. So it's like a switch in series is what I'm thinking. How is this now? Start. Now if I turn it right, hey! Let's go. See, it's steady. We shouldn't be flashing because it should be steady. Because the relay is in series. It's wired. Oh, this guy fell off. I need to make sure this guy works too. Okay, so I just need to fix this thing, but it works. So it's definitely the turn signal flasher. 3 volts. That's better. And when the light gets brighter, I'm getting 5. But it needs to be 12. It needs to be 12, not 3. All right. So those parts are in order, so the lights aren't gonna work yet. I'm looking at the speedometer. It's my next thing. So this is where it fits in. And how the speedometer works is you have this thing and it spins. You can see there is a metal bracket that went there. I 3D printed something that replaced, and the 3D print already wore apart, so that's trash. So I need to redesign it. I'm going to use TPU this time. This TPU is quite tough. Doesn't really, yeah. Now, see, if I spin this, it will spin the speedometer. So that's all I need to do is I need to redesign, print in TPU, and I'm good. While the parts are on order for the electrical system, I turned to the mechanical system, and one of those was the pedal. On that right pedal, I only had half the pedal, as you can see. The other part of it broke off because it was plastic. But I did have a friend who gave me an aluminum pedal wheel, so I decided to use that one and put it on instead. Maybe, yeah, okay. I'll just have to do that. Oh, that's a lot easier than I thought it would be. Huh. I did not think it would be that easy. Huh. Well, that helps. Okay, now just getting it threaded back in. Hopefully that shouldn't break. Let's go. So the regulator, and then there is the flasher. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Before I put on the relay, I want to put on a new regulator. That way I don't blow everything. So I might blow the relay if I don't get the regulator. Okay, this might take a little bit of, because they're not the same. So I'm not exactly sure what prongs go to what. There's 4 prongs, and this is my relay right here, buried right there. There we go. There we go. So I'll do one for the flasher, or I'll do sets of this. That's the, take one of these to the flasher. Those, well, I just realized that I wasn't recording the whole time. So yeah, I soldered all of these, got them all to these spades. So I've got these 2, this goes to the flasher. One's pink, which is the one that says P on it, that one. And then this other one kind of just splits and all goes into the regulator. So right now what I got hooked up to ground here, right there, into the ground. I just have to move it so I can test it. So everything except the turn signal lights will work. I kind of don't feel like having to worry about them coming disconnected, because they don't feel super secure. It didn't. I think I found it. Nope, I didn't. There you go. The new turn flasher. And it's just gonna slide in. So with that regulator in, I just needed to test it. Again, it was running, and I had hooked up just a fuse, basically a straight wire in between the turn flasher relay. And so it should just create a steady signal when I turn it on. But I wasn't getting a response for a while. And then what I realized is I did research, and it actually does depend which pins you put your spades in for the regulator. Okay, sick. I found this. I researched it up online. There's no data sheet for this part. I found one for another 4-pin connector, and there is a certain way you hook it up, which is why I didn't understand, because there's like no instructions, no documentations. So I got confused. But the one said, it said input, what did it say? Input, output, input on this far side, and then ground there. So what it would be is my input would be input AC, output DC, input, and then ground. Give me a second, let me double check that. Sorry, no. This would be from the magneto. The input here is from the magneto. This is the output, is what goes DC to the lights. Yep. And then, so this one is the pink one that goes to the lights, and then everything connected to lights. And then this is my white one I had earlier, which is another input. I'm not quite sure what that one is. It's the plus B, whatever that is. I think. What was it? Yellow? Or no, it might be the DC. I'm not sure. Either way, I got it, and it works. I've replaced the battery. I had a battery, and I charged it. I put it back in, and I wanted to check to make sure the lights work. I think I just need a battery for these lights to work. So left works, and right also works. Okay, so I'm gonna check the blinkers now. I'm gonna put it up to the relay. Okay. Right. Yes! Woo! And left. Yes! Let's go! Because I had this problem where I thought the whole problem with the circuit, instead of the regulator, I thought it was the battery not keeping charge, because every time I measured the battery, it wasn't keeping charge. But that would make sense. It's the regulator, it's not regulating. Then it was the relay, it wasn't working. And then also it was the battery. The battery wasn't having enough charge at the time it was working too, so. And with everything tested and proven that it works, I was free to solder away, make things more permanent, get the electrical systems better, making sure there's good connections, making sure everything's okay. Now my attention turned to the back turn signal lights. Only one of the incandescent bulbs was blown, but that meant if I was going to place one with an LED, I should just place the other with an LED too. So I used those 3D printed harnesses, put the LED in, and I would solder the connections to a copper wire. It's a little janky, but I put that copper wire in through the tiny spade connectors. I worked on putting the assembly back into the moped, hooking up those wires, and I just ended up using electrical tape to isolate those connections so they wouldn't cross, wouldn't touch, just making sure everything's good and wouldn't shake around, wouldn't have any bad connections. And just as one final check, you for sure need to just have it run to make sure it works. We got the right signal light. There we go. It's blinking a little slow, but that's okay. And the left signal light, also there too. Both work, just making sure back and forth switches. But yeah, it works. Heck yeah, let's go. All right. It's finally fixed. Let's go. Let's go. So now all I have to do is clean up. But took long enough, but it's all fixed. Everything's working. The lights, the headlights. Yeah. Sick. Let's go.